Om Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Sri Ramakrishna is in Calcutta, going in a horse carriage, and he is on the way to a place called Maidan. As he is traveling, he is giving us the life's sutras, the secrets of human life, how to live in this world of dualities. Everywhere you see, in front of man, two things are kept. One is Shreya, one is Preya. One is what is going to do good to you, one is what offers you enjoyments and pleasures. One is the path of evolution, the other is the path of involution. Two things, enjoyments are there of worldly enjoyments, and here this side, sadhana is there. All enjoyments are there. All types of education, knowledge, understanding, both sides are there. Both are before you. Time is within your reach. At home, you have a TV, you have a Bhagavad Gita. Which is you going to take up? Most 99% people will rush towards the TV and not Bhagavad Gita. 1 in a million, 1 in a crore, you may find turning to. There is mobile in the hand. There is Lord sitting in the heart. Where do my attention turn to? Am I conscious of the Lord within, who is the source of my existence, who pervades my whole bodily existence and psychic existence, my emotional existence, all aspects of my existence? He is pervading and giving existence to all that exists. Shall I turn to Him, without whom I have no existence at all? I become nihil, nothing. Everything ends there. Shall I think of Him, or view the mobile in the hand, which is going to be a source of bondage and suffering? Thought of God releases me, makes me enter into eternal bliss and peace. Mobile makes me enter into eternal hell of suffering and bondage. What shall I hold? And to entice and to cheat, he gives something good also. Take the mobile. With trying to reach the good, he spreads into the bad. Nature is to enter into the water that flows, pure water that falls on the earth as rain. The moment it touches the ground, it acquires dirt. And next moment you see it has already started flowing to down and down to down, acquiring the dirt. It is acquiring dirt and flowing. That is the nature. Nature of mind is to always run after the enjoyments. Both Shreya and Preya are there, but Preya is most enchanting than the Shreya. To turn Shreya, man must have great good done in his past, by which he can think of going towards the divine. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling all people, nobody is aware of God. Nobody is seeing Shreya. They are all running after the prayer. He is informing us, giving us a warning, giving us the lesson, making us, training us to hold on to the Shreya. What is Shreyas and Preyas? The Shreyas, Shreya, that one we have to hold. Sri Ramakrishna says, all are looking at the earthly things. You try to see the divine there. All are forgetful of God. Try to be aware of God. Let God be in your awareness. They all are rushing about for the sake of their stomach, and no one is thinking of God. Then they are moving in a carriage. Sri Ramakrishna is addressing them and telling all these things. They arrived at circus because if he point out, he has gone to that place where things are opposite. Present world, it is what is happening. Going there is pointing out specifically. Even in this busy hours of life, busy hours of the world, think of God, think of God. That is the only saving point. Death is going to conquer you. Don't know where it is going to throw you into this world. They arrived at the circus. Tickets for the cheapest seats were purchased. The devotees took the master to a high gallery and they all sat on a bench. He said joyfully, this is a good place. I can see the show well from here. On the gallery, in a cabin. Usually, we don't have the cabin system now. Earlier, the women were wearing gungat. They cannot expose themselves so freely. So they used to protect their modesty, and lajja is one of the graces of woman. It gives her the divine value to remain in her own glory, not to step down to the bodily level, to remain as the pure divine, untouched by the world, and make the younger generation come in that style. Protect yourself, protect others, and protect yourself. So they used to, with great respect, the children and women were looked after. What all they need, protection, what all they need in their life was provided. So beautiful places on the top from where women can view, and in absence men also, or a family can independently sit there and see. Opportunities were provided with cabins. They can see, view the whole thing, whether it is film or drama. Films were not there in those days. Dramas going on, circus, all these they can see, and nobody can see unless they turn back and see. So, and there also a screen is there. Below the screen nobody can, even if they turn back, it is not there. and kingly family who can afford the servants. The servants also can stay there and go on fanning them. These fans were not there, electricity was not there. According to their status, according to their availability of what we can say wealth or the glory. Wealthy people can afford, but with all that, all the devotees prefer to go to the lowest tickets, lowest fund money taking. Sri Ramakrishna is saying joyfully, Master was taken to high gallery and they made him sit on a bench. He said joyfully, this is a good place. I can see the show well from here. There were exhibitions of various feats. A horse raced around a circular track over which large iron rings were hung at intervals. The circus rider, an English woman, stood on one foot on the horse's back, and as the horse passed under the rings, she jumped through them, always alighting on one foot on the horse's back. The horse raced around the entire circle, and the woman never missed the horse or lost her balance. So many feats were there, but Sri Ramakrishna is seeing a particular one is given because Sri Ramakrishna is going to quote this very often. How to live in the world, never to miss the balance. How she was, do all your activities, but see that she is passing through all the dangers. The horse is different, she is different when she jumps over and passes through the ring, iron ring, and again lands. Horse has already come there. She jumps and alights. Same with one foot. With one foot she jumps up, gets down on the horse with the same one foot. How you see how much of perfection, how much of practice, how much of awareness. If she misses her awareness or diverts her attention, she will be there on the ground and horse will be on her. She will not be on the horse anymore. That state, that's what we see and find in the world. People come down to that level. When the circus was over, the master and the devotee stood outside in the field near the carriage. Since it was cold night, he covered his body with his green shawl. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, "Did you see how the Englishwoman stood on one foot on the horse while it ran like lightning?" It is running with very high speed. How difficult a feat that must be. She must have practiced it a long time. The slightest carelessness and she should break her arms or legs. She might even be killed. One faces the same difficulty in leading a life of a householder. Where it comes, you see. Every bit, whatever you see, whatever you hear, when you see a person, dirty person with bad life, a good person, well educated, can you see beyond what you are seeing? Can you link that to the divine? Can you transcend the physical level of seeing and see the divine play going on? Wherever there is good, there is bad. This creation is duality. One becomes two, one will be positive, negative. When you see these variations, can you think of the divine play going on? One was there, never two. Two were never there. And one was there. That one what was there was the ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. That bliss, peace, love, absolute, that is missing. Can you see that? That one was there. There was no two at all. They became two, and just because they have become two, what they inherit is the same divinity. There the divinity is expressing as bad and dirty. Here the same divinity is expressing and good and noble. You see how? Can you see this? This is the vision, right vision. To bring, Sri Ramakrishna wants you to, he wants you to come to that level of understanding, that level of seeing, linking to the divine, whatever you see, linking to actual life, what would happen. So he has gone to a circus just to show to the people how to utilize what all comes in your life, good and bad. When something bad happens, understand this is the world. When something good happens, see it is God's grace and thank. So when something bad happens, understand and surrender to God. Take me beyond this, Lord. I cannot bear the sufferings. So whatever happens, utilize that force, good or bad, happening in your life. Maybe great losses, maybe great elevating situations of life. And when anything comes, utilize it as a force to go Godward. So Sri Ramakrishna is practically explaining, showing how they lived. Now, how your ancestors lived. A life of absolute perfection, absolute purity, absolute unconditional love for all beings. Live that life. So he is holding the hand and making them move, showing every bit and showing how to transcend nature and reach the absolute, how to transcend nature and enter the transcendental realm. He is practically showing here now, holding the hand and carrying the child. Ramakrishna said to him, "Did you see how the English woman stood on one foot while the horse was running like a lightning? How difficult it is. She must have practiced for a long time. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chigrihate." Whatever you see, try to eliminate the attachments and aversions from the object, vairagya, dispassion, and practice. Now you saw the circus, forget the circus, see what you can take from it. There, when I am attached to the scene that has happened, I go on telling everyone this happened, that happened, but I am not going to utilize it. I saw, I explained to others, I enjoyed, but there is no transformation. Same thing you have seen, enjoyed, and utilize it to undergo the internal transformation. This is the how we difficulty in leading a householder's life. Danger awaits every moment. Danger awaits every moment. Anything can happen to any person. There is no safety any moment. Danger is waiting every, and uncertainty. What is going to happen next moment is uncertain. And danger is always awaiting. Our Holy Mother rock, the rock was made into pieces, and earlier we selected the pieces and brought and assembled and made the rock here in our ashrama, Ramakrishna ashrama. For women wing also, we made a huge Holy Mother's rock. We have brought and assembled. A rock was lifted, separated from its root, a huge rock, and we cut it, got it sliced, and one by one was brought and assembled here back. Same thing we did here by selected pieces we brought, each weighing 30-40 tons. A crane is lifting, tying chain. Crane lifts it by chain. The whole thing, as if crane itself is going to topple, it looks when it's trying to lift. And when it is lifted up, any moment that chain can give way. The strength of a chain is determined by its weakest link. So, which moment, which is going to leave, and that huge weight is going to fall down, we do not know. When it is lifted sufficiently height, the truck is taken below that. Sometimes when truck is going, the rock will fall down, chain will break. How many times it happened when we did the first rock? The chain would suddenly, the truck would almost topple. And mind you, 4 people will be standing on it. When it descends, they have to give wooden pieces below for the removing chain and putting the chain again when lighting down. And I used to stand far off and watch, because if chain breaks, its pieces, how far and how it goes, we do not know. Just accept prayer. Prayer of the heart, shivering heart. Oh Mother, nothing should happen. Accept that prayer. That stone is lifted, the truck is coming behind, on which 4 people are standing. They can jump any moment. But they are standing on it. Open truck without sides. It is taken, lifted, and the truck is going reverse, back. So, how the householder's life would be, ever in danger. Anything can happen, anything, time. Hold on to God. Hold on to God. So, Sri Ramakrishna is giving the example how the householder's life is always in danger, because there is interdependence and attachments. If attachments and interdependence are not there, then householder life is no more householder life. It's a life of freedom. It's a life of dedication. But almost all householders, they are not able to leave the house and family one day and stay somewhere alone. One day, whole life, they cannot spend a day. They have to take the permission. The permission will not be given. Family, he has to satisfy everyone. He has no more freedom in life because of the attachments he has created and the obligations he has created, assurances he or she has given, all this. So it is there the problem comes. Not because he is a householder who has many more advantages also. Sri Ramakrishna says it is like fighting from a fort. So here we see the whole thing depends upon the attitude, understanding and vision of ours. So householder, where is he making mistake? Sri Ramakrishna is pointing out. If you succeed through the grace of God and as a result of their spiritual practice, the same danger is waiting, but smoothly their life goes off without any obstruction, without any problems, because they are the God's grace and then their own result of their own spiritual practice. They are doing spiritual practices, calling on God, doing meditation, prayer. And for all our problems, only one solution is turn to God, turn to God. Don't turn to this world anymore. Don't take help or assistance from anybody. Straight away go to the Lord, who is the Lord of all, the entire universe. And your problem can be solved only by God. So when you have accepted a particular pattern of life, go ahead with that pattern, but holding on to the divine. Think grace of God. Two things Sri Ramakrishna says out of the spiritual practices and grace of God. When does the grace of God descend? Sri Ramakrishna says grace of God is like breeze flowing at all times. You have to unfurl your mast so that your boat is dragged by that wind, by that breeze. Breeze pulls your boat. If you unmast your fur, so you have to go utilize. What is obstructing God's grace? Why I am not able to hold to that wind, hold to that breeze, is my own ego. As my ego starts declining, as my dependence on God, love of God is increasing, I am acquiring the humility in place of ego. I am acquiring the grace of God. And spiritual practices, we know how the spiritual practices are going to help us. Spiritual practices is trying to be spirit and living a life. A life as spirit is spiritual life. Living as my body is worldly life. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhritavigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.